So, know your rights education is not political activism. It is not confrontation. It is not defiance. It is wisdom. And churches and teams in your group can play an important role in offering calm, factual workshops that help families understand their legal rights during immigration enforcement encounters. Of course, we can come in and help you do that, but preparation reduces panic and education prevents unnecessary mistakes. When people do not know their rights, which most of refugee friends may not know, a fear often fills the gap. When people are informed, they are more likely to stay calm, measured, and respectful. That is the goal. Not escalation, but stability. Many families we serve are here legally. Some are lawful permanent residents through refugee resettlement, through our U.S. government, but without green cards. Very few are asylum seekers, but you may work with some asylum seekers who are on the legal pathways. It often takes years. Some have work authorization, Social Security, and yet even those who are fully documented experience fear. Why? Because enforcement encounters can be intimidating, and the uncertainty of this continuously happening is very high. Uniforms are intimidating, authority is intimidating, guns and ammunition, language barriers increases anxiety. That is why we can help inform our refugee friends in covering a few principles. First, the right to remain silent. Under the Constitution, individuals have the right not to answer questions about their immigration status. This is not about being disrespectful or dishonest. It's about not saying something unintentionally that could be misinterpreted or used incorrectly. A simple phrase can be taught and memorized. I choose to remain silent. Second, the right to ask if you are being detained. Encourage families to calmly ask of anyone who's officially coming there, am I being detained or am I free to leave? If the answer is that they are not being detained, they may calmly walk away. If they are being detained, they should remain calm and not resist. Third, the right to request a warrant. If officers come to a home, families should understand the difference between an administrative warrant and a judicial warrant. This distinction is very important. An administrative warrant is issued by an immigration agency. A judicial warrant is signed by a judge. Only a judicial warrant allows officers to enter a private home without consent. Families should be taught if officers knock on your door, you do not have to open it. You can speak through the door. You can ask them to slide the warrant under the door. You can verify whether it is signed by a judge. And this is not confrontation, it is lawful procedure. Remaining calm is critical. No yelling, encourage them not to argue, no physical resistance, just calm, clear communication, which can be challenging when emotions escalate. Fourth, do not sign documents without a lawyer. This is important to remind families you work with. This is one of the most important preventative protections. Families should understand. Never sign anything you do not fully understand. Never sign anything without speaking to an immigration lawyer or some sort of legal service. You are not that, so be sure to find someone who can read that. In high-pressure situations, people sometimes sign volunteer departure papers without realizing the consequences. Education protects families from preventable mistakes. Fifth, the difference between staying calm and escalating. Preparedness is wisdom, not confrontation. We must be very clear in how we teach this to families we work with. It's not about resisting law enforcement, going against the law. This is not about hostility. This is about clarity. Teach families to keep hands visible, speak respectively, do not shout, avoid sudden movements, comply physically if detained, do not lie, to be honest, not to run. At the same time, they can exercise their legal rights calmly. Those two things are not opposites. You can be respectful and informed at the same time. That tone is important if you train volunteers in your group or as you continue to, or as you talk to families directly. We do not want to create fear. We want to reduce fear. We are not teaching people, quote, how to fight the system. We are teaching people how to avoid unnecessary legal harm. Many enforcement encounters escalate over panic or over raised voices our emotions. Panic leads to rush decisions and rush decisions lead to preventable consequences. Education builds steadiness. This is why we provide simple graphics that families can keep, that you can download here or email us to get them. Clear, easy to read handouts, simple phrases to memorize, like, am I being detained or am I free to go? I choose to remain silent. I do not consent to any searches. I would like to speak to a lawyer. These phrases can fit on a small card. You can even create them yourself. Some families may want to carry that card with their documents, particularly those who are legally present and have documentation. That card is not defiance; it's clarity. It's right. It's part of our U.S. Constitution. In workshops, we can also clarify the difference between public encounters and home encounters, or the workshops maybe that you do with your group. In public, you may ask if you are being detained. You may decline to answer questions. At home, you do not have to open the door without a judicial warrant. In a vehicle, do not consent to searches. Ask if you are being detained. And in all settings, stay calm. The posture that you're offering is encouraging people that they must act steadily. We're not replacing attorneys. We are not giving legal advice beyond basic constitutional protections. We are equipping families with awareness and encouraging them to connect with immigration lawyers for case-specific guidance. What we're talking about here is reducing unnecessary rumors. We don't, in high anxiety environments, misinformation spreads quickly. Doing a workshop, training your team allows families to receive accurate information from your group. When people know what to expect, their anxiety decreases. When they understand procedure, they are less likely to react emotionally. And that emotional steadiness protects the children that are in the home. Children often absorb this anxiety of adults, and they see it, they perceive it. We know that even in other chaotic situations of home, that if you have parents that have gone through that, when parents are calm, the children feel safer. Know Your Rights education is ultimately about dignity. It reminds families you are not powerless, although they may feel that way. You have constitutional protections. Preparation is not rebellion. Wisdom is not hostility. And for those who are legally present, refugees and permanent residents, those with work authorization, this knowledge is specifically important. It reinforces confidence. It reduces the fear that any encounter automatically means guilt. It encourages responsible behavior and lawful process. As your group with Steady Presence, we can frame this clearly. We respect law enforcement. We respect lawful process. We encourage compliance without the law, and we also, with the law, and we also believe every person deserves to understand their rights under the law. Both can be true. The tone of this session must model that we are teaching to be calm, factual, measured, non-accusatory. Preparedness is wisdom. Education is protection. Steady knowledge prevents preventable harm. And when families know what to do, fear loses some of its power. That is the purpose of this final module. It's not the final module, but this module, not agitation, stability, not confrontation, but clarity, not fear, confidence rooted in truth. And when your group offers this kind of calm, responsible education, and even it needs to be over and over, they can help build communities that are informed, resilient, and steady, even in uncertain times. I want to conclude with this, and that is, I'm not a lawyer. I am, but this is a research material that I've given you, and we have also seen very, very basic constitutional rights abused, and that's very clearly factual, documented. We've seen people being detained who are here lawfully. That is documented, known. So we have to prepare for our friends, our refugee friends, particularly those who are without green cards, who have been here maybe 1 to 2 year period, or even longer without green cards, that they are in a vulnerable situation currently. as I record this. And as things are a bit fluid and open to different interpretations, I would say this, that legal help and legal advice is recommended. But what was given to you in this session are basic constitutional rights, and you can look up on the description of this video to see some downloaded and some more information of if you want to dig deeper, and I encourage you to do so.